Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. It's finally June, which means it's time for summer nails to begin. I'm so excited for this video because Beetles is sponsoring this video, and Beetles sent me a crazy package that I need to do an unboxing. For every season, the packaging is such a surprise and it's such an excitement to open these packages. So I'm gonna show you guys the summer box because these are like must-haves for summer. And obviously I'm gonna break it down for you guys so it's beginner friendly. So grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get into this tutorial. So let's start off by opening this summer pretty box. I'm so excited to show you guys what's inside of here because, as I said, Beetles' specialty is the packaging. Every season is different, and this summer they literally popped off with their packaging, and I'm gonna show you guys all of the things that were included in this box, starting off with a very special gift, sunglasses and a cute scarf I could wear at the beach with my new pretty nails. And of course, every box has to have all the basics like gems, stickers, nail files, nail buffers, nail clippers, cuticle pushers, all that kind of things that you can use to get started when you're a beginner. And I will say these nail buffers and nail files were really useful in this video. I really love the quality and the sturdiness. I'm going to show you guys how I used it and how I shaped my nails with those. Also, it came with a rhinestone glue, which you guys all need because top coat and base coat isn't gonna get those gems to last for you. They also came with a set of brushes, so I'm also going to be using them in this video. And of course, a flash cure light because that's an essential, and then base coat, top coat, and these are henna free, by the way. I love these. And oh my gosh, they also came with a lash extension kit. They definitely want you looking good for the summers. And for the main event of this box, I'm going to show you all the colors. These are some essentials for summer, and you guys can also always mix this with white to create pastel colors, so you guys have endless options, and of course cuticle oil as well. And now let's get into the tutorial. I'm gonna start by removing the base colors of these gel extensions. I'm doing a Gel X refill today because it hasn't even been like 3 weeks since I put them on, and the retention is good, so I'm just gonna reuse the extensions. So hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two about Gel X fill-ins. I'm starting off by just going in with a carbide bit. I'm going at a very high speed, like I would say 35,000 RPMs. I'm going at the max speed because I want to get this removal very quickly, and I'm going very gently and very lightly, going over every surface of the nail to remove the base color, the design, but leaving the extensions on. And make sure you don't overfile in this step because you don't want your extensions to be flimsy and weak. If you guys have been struggling with your removals taking so long, like up to 40 minutes, then definitely listen to me when I say getting a carbide bit is your best friend. Carbide bits really help you with the time and speed when it comes to removing those extensions, that base color, removing anything related to nails. Definitely get a carbide bit. If you're using a ceramic bit, I definitely recommend you upgrade. I know it's a little bit more costly to get a carbide bit, but they are definitely worth it. And I'm being very careful around the cuticle area. As you can see, I'm not going too close to my skin. I'm just removing that color and base. After dusting off all the dust, because my dust collector for some reason has not been working so well anymore, I think I need to replace it. Anyways, I'm going in with the 240 grit sanding band at a speed of like 5,000 RPMs. Sometimes I go up to 7,000 RPMs, again for speed and time. And this time I can go around the cuticles and smoothen all the bumps, because I don't want to smoothen with my carbide removal bit because that's a little bit too harsh to go in all the crevices. I'm really a perfectionist when it comes to this sanding band process. I feel like it's really important to get all the extensions really smooth and blended into the natural nail. When you see the growth after 3 weeks, you just want to blend that back into your natural nail so they look all seamlessly one together. And also with this sanding band, I'm going around the cuticle to lift that dead skin up as well. So it's kind of multitasking with this step. And I really take my time, and I suggest that you do as well. Don't worry, the 240 grit sanding band is very gentle, so even if you file over and over again, you're not gonna damage your skin or your natural nail. It's more gentle, and if you guys are scared, you guys can lower the speed a bit. I'm going at 7,000 at this point to really get into those corners and smoothen the bumps. So now I'm gonna go and shape and file the extensions. I feel like over the past couple of weeks, the extensions have definitely lost their shape. I usually go for a skinny almond. I don't know, I kind of invented or like made up that shape in my mind because there isn't a perfect way to say it. It's between an almond and a stiletto. I don't like it to be too sharp, so that's why I call it a skinny almond. And this is where I'm using the Beetles nail file, and this was a lifesaver. I feel like it was very sturdy and it was getting the job done, but it wasn't too rough to the point that I would over file. A lot of times what happens is your nail file is way too coarse that you end up over filing and it just doesn't look symmetrical anymore. So I definitely recommend investing in a very good nail file so you can control how much you file. I want to take a moment to kind of explain the pros and cons of doing a Gel-X refill. All the cons are obviously if you have lifting and you do a Gel-X fill-in, then you will notice that the lifting will get bigger and bigger, and that might cause some moldings or some infections to happen as well, because all of that dirt and germs and water is still underneath your extensions. So it's crucial to understand when you're doing a Gel-X refill, you really need to be very attention to detail and notice all the red flags. There cannot be any liftings, and if there is one, then it's better to just redo the whole set. The pros of doing a Gel-X fill-in is obviously sustainability. You can save your money and save a set of extensions and reuse them, and also you can always protect your natural nails by doing this process, because a removal, a soak off can be quite harsh on your natural nail. So that's one of the ways that my natural nails have been able to thrive underneath those extensions, and I feel like by next time I can take them off and just have builder gel on my natural nails, which I'm really excited for. Anyways, as you can see, during my yapping, I was going in with a cuticle bit at 5,000 RPMs. And I was lifting up my cuticle, that pocket, so I can go in with a nipper now and nip off all the dead skin. Make sure you're being careful with this step as well. You don't want to accidentally nip yourself, but if you do, just let the bleeding stop before you proceed with the gel procedure, because you don't want to get any gel on some open wound. So just be careful about that. And I'm making sure to go into all the corners to get the dead skin off. And actually, ever since I started doing my cuticle care a bit more seriously, I noticed a huge difference in retention. My sets don't lift anymore, they just stick onto that cuticle area very neatly. So there are a lot of benefits to practicing your cuticle prep and cuticle care. After this step, for the last part, I'm going in with a sanitizing alcohol to spray my whole hand, my whole nails, and make sure to sanitize and remove all the dust as well as dehydrate the nail. And now it's time for the base design, and we're going in with the Beetles Base gel, and I'm gonna apply a thin layer of this on all of my extensions so that they can last a lot longer. I like to always put a base coat even after applying extensions, so this is a must-have step for me. So I do want to say, when applying base coat, you don't want to apply too thick of a coat, but you don't want to apply too little. So you gotta find the in-between of finding the right consistency of base coat to put on your nail, and I always check with the reflection to see if I missed any areas of the nail, because with the base coat you really want to get super close to the cuticles and paint every surface of the nail. I'm going in with my brush to clean up the areas that I feel like I just messed up on, and I cured my whole hand for 60 seconds. These are all the builder gel colors that I have from Beetles. This didn't come in the summer box collection, but you guys can order this on Amazon. I will put the link down below, and you guys can use my code for 10% off as well. And I'm applying a thin layer of that builder gel first to create the slip layer so that I can prepare the base to put a bigger blob of gel on top. And this is the gel that I'm gonna build the apex with. Just to be clear, the first layer, the thin layer that I put on the nail, is not cured. I go directly in with more builder gel and lay it around the cuticle area and drag it all the way down. I'm using also a liner brush to move the gel around so it can create like a symmetrical and perfect shape. So first what I do is drag all the gel down with the liner brush and then flip over my hand so that gravity can help me create that apex. You guys can just wait for gravity to do its thing, usually like 20 seconds I would say, or you can also just keep lining it, moving it with the liner brush so the process is a little bit quicker. And I make sure that in all areas the gel is very even and covering the whole nail. And obviously I flip it over 20 seconds before I put it into the light. And this builder gel base step has been a game changer for me when doing nails. I just love it when a nail has sturdiness and thickness and just a built apex. That's just like a pet peeve of mine if a gel extension is very super flat and flimsy and cheap and plastic looking. So that's one thing that the builder gel really helps you create, that like luxury acrylic look that usually acrylics provides and gel usually doesn't, but builder gel is like that perfect in between. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm talking about, but yeah, this is the end look for the base color. I obviously chose a color that was neutral for my skin tone and flattering, and you guys can pick out your own base color. This one I think is D056. I don't know the color name, but I will put it down below for you guys. Now let's go into the design, and I know that polka dots is a huge trend in fashion, in beauty, and nails, so I'm definitely 100% sure it's gonna be a trend this summer as well, and I really just love the look of polka dots, so that was like a non-negotiable for me in this design. So I just went ahead and did that nail first, and I'm using a dotting tool creating these small dots, and I don't really know how to explain this step. This was probably the easiest nail out of all the nails that I did, so just follow along, and the dotting tool is very useful. So I'm gonna cure that for 60 seconds into the big lamp, and I like to put all the colors that I want to use onto this glass tray so that I can easily pick it up. And I'm also going in with a matte top coat for the middle finger. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a seashell design. I don't know if you have seen that on Pinterest. It's a big trend right now as well, and I just love the look of seashell, like this seashell Frenchie, so I will show you guys how to do that. You're gonna start off by just doing a regular basic French line and then filling that in with the white gel. And I decided to do a kind of turquoise blue seashell, but if you guys want to change up the colors and use the other colors, then definitely feel free to do so. after doing the French line, I'm not going to cure the white French. I will directly put the blue gel with my liner brush and kind of swipe it along, and by not curing the white gel, it's giving kind of that slippery layer that really helps to create that seashell look. And I'm gonna just keep going in with more blue and spreading it out and then curing that for 60 seconds. This is my favorite part when I'm going in with the builder gel and using again the same liner brush. I'm dipping that liner brush into the gel and creating these lines that basically come out to look like a seashell. And I don't know how to explain this step verbally, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch how I do this. A small advice, I definitely recommend curing each layer of hard gel that you do quickly with the flash cure lamp, and that really helps the gel just sit in place so that it creates that perfect shape. So yeah, I'm curing every single layer even though I'm not showing you guys every step, but I recommend just curing it for 10 seconds at least. So this is when it gets a little bit challenging to explain, but basically I have this sponge tool that I dipped some gel into. I used the purple gel from Beetles, and I'm basically just patting that into the nail, and then one side I did purple and then I used that blue that I used for the seashell design and then patted that in for the other side. One great thing about the Beetles gel polishes are that they are so pigmented that you can use them to do the aura designs. So I'm going in a couple times, curing each layer to give it that perfect color. But now I'm going in with some solid gel, rolling them up into these like legs, and you guys can tell what I'm doing. I'm making a starfish. These are my favorite, absolute favorite summer nail design technique to use. I love using hard gel, and I'm going in with like a milky white hard gel, not just a transparent one. Using a silicone tool, I'm just gonna put those gels in place, make the legs look a little bit more realistic. And once you like the shape like that, you guys can put it into the curing lamp for 60 seconds. So now I'm gonna decorate the starfish by using that same exact dotting tool with some white gel polish to give him some color. And I haven't named this starfish yet. Every creature I put on my nail I definitely name. And you guys can really customize the design when it comes to the starfish. I've seen people color the inside like orange, make it look a bit more tropical. Anyways, for the thumb, I'm going in with a blooming gel. I'm just applying it on the top half of the nail and kind of on the sides. I don't know, the pattern I wanted was like more irregular and not so symmetrical as all the other nails. And I'm just using my dotting tool to put the white polish all over, and I wanted it to look like a butterfly pattern. I don't know, it just reminds me of like seashells and butterflies, and I'm just gonna let that sit for at least 20 seconds to let it really bloom. And once you like it like that, you can put it into the curing lamp. So for the last finger, I really wanted something that ties the whole look together, so it definitely needed some color. So I'm going in with that Beetles purple gel and patting it in with a sponge and creating this like ombre look. And I really love how, again, like pigmented these gels are. You can really do anything. You could do a solid color or an ombre if you have the sponge, any kind of sponge really. And then now I'm going in with some blooming gel again, and I really wanted to create like a wave pattern. I've seen these on Pinterest a few times, not as often, but I'm just going in with my liner brush and a white gel polish to create this like lines, letting it bloom, and it really looks like waves. And I feel like it would look even more amazing if the ombre was with blue. So you guys can try that out and see if it looks better. And to kind of make the waves look a little bit more wavy, I'm going in with the 3D hard gel, the water gel, to create like 3D effects just to bring a little bit more 3D-ness to the nail design. I really like to just leave one nail for the end to see what colors are missing, what patterns are missing to tie the whole look together. So I really like how this turned out color-wise. And at the end, I'm just putting some gems and charms like the starfish charm and seashells. I really wanted to lean in towards gold and pearls, not really diamonds, so that's what I did here. What my biggest tip to you guys is to put some rhinestone glue on top of the charms so that they don't start rusting in like a week or two, that they can last a lot longer. Now going in with the Beetles top coat, I'm just gonna top coat each finger because I don't want the top coat to slide and slip from where I put it. So basically I'm just curing each hand as we go. And the trick with top coat is not to put too much, and I really like the Beetles top coat consistency. Sometimes some top coats can be a little bit too runny, so they will like flood your cuticles and just slide everywhere, but I really like the consistency of the Beetles top coat. Anyways, after curing each finger for 60 seconds, making sure that top coat is fully cured, it should not be sticky at all. I'm going in with some like buffing or nail file to kind of reshape the shape and make it crisp again. And please make sure to go in with some cuticle oil or hand cream after this, because the whole nail process, using a lot of alcohol and acetone, it can be harsh on your hands. So after that, this is the finished look for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video.